Good morning all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday morning, July 25th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of SPY, IWMN, triple Qs. So last week of the trading month, big week with a lot of the tech earnings, and again our favorite Fed on Wednesday. We have one time framed up 6 days in a row. If we're able to take out yesterday's high, if we don't take out Friday's low, it would still be considered one-time framing, even if it's an inside day. And we would have our most consecutive days for one-time framing, which would be 7. Right now, the monthly's still down with an inside month with 5 days to go. The weekly's up. The daily is up. Our overnight high right now, 397.50. Overnight low, 394.25. Light volume again so far. Pre-market. Now remember, we went out with a double distribution day to the downside yesterday on Friday. Okay, we were the only one out of these three indices not to take out Thursday's low. Now Russell and Q's did not have outside days down. They ended up closing inside of Thursday's range. Right now, with 75 minutes to go prior to the opening, we are above our first set of single prints. So we're above the lower distribution, but below the upper distribution. We have traded into the upper distribution, but that's just pre-market. So it remains to be seen if we're able to take it back. Russell had only one set of singles. Right now they're in their upper distribution, and Qs also are right now at the upper end of their lower distribution. Remember, we all had excess on Friday's highs. It's going to be interesting to see if we get back up there again. Remember, ES has a weak high against filling their gap. SPY never filled their gap. Game plan for this morning. Well, right where we are right now, the first time, if we're to open, whether it's now or at 9:30, right below B's low from Friday, you can take a short play to see if they get rejected out of the upper distribution. That's one play. Now, I don't know if you'd want to take the heat from B's low to the overnight high. It's only about 30 cents, so actually you can do that, even if they fill all the single prints to see if they front run the overnight high. That would be one call play. On the flip side, if we open in the next 75 minutes inside the upper distribution and take out the overnight high fairly quickly, wherever it is, then on a pullback against the lower end of the upper distribution, you can take a long to see if it holds. If any acceptance back below B's low, well, then you can play a bit between B's low and G's high. That's the upper end of the lower distribution. So those, again, we're going to be open possibly in value and balance, not the greatest of the risk rewards. We'll see if they're going to chop between both sets, between both distributions, right? That's going to be important at some point to see who wins the opening if we open somewhere between the two distributions. Remember on Friday, right? The opening was so important against the overnight high and Thursday's high, and then finally the sellers won it. So it's kind of the same scenario this morning. Okay, and then on the chart, just going to show you the daily. All right, we went over everything on Friday. If you want to watch that video, we recapped all three of these indices. So we're one time framing up 6 days in a row, 3 days in a row now above the 50. SPY still has that gap that they need to fill, right? Because of the dividend, they haven't filled it yet. ES wants to get into those single prints from June 9th. That's the next big hurdle for the ES, and they get acceptance back into that 8-day balance. If that happens, then last month's high becomes the next big target. Thanks for the likes and subscribing to this video channel. Good luck trading today, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.